so many people on this side. It's so cool to finally be in the middle of Times Square.
I want to share my opinion as an African coming to America and living in New York for the first time.
Everything in this country you have to pay for. You sneeze and you have to pay for that too.
You can find anything that you desire or want or think about in New York. New York never sleeps.
You can make it here because you're forced to make it alone.
So please don't lose your soul and your heart if you come to America.
I came to New York this summer, and New York has always been at the top of my travel list. And I always wanted to come here. It's part of what inspired me to even start making videos, watching Casey Neistat on a skateboard riding across New York City. And I was like, oh, one day I want to make it down to this place and I want to experience it from my own perspective. So there's this perception that has been sold about America that everything works like clockwork, like everything is perfect. But after spending some time here, I've come to learn that it's not true. Every country across the earth has their own problems, you know, their beautiful sides and their ugly sides. These are my honest opinions, and as with all opinions, they might be biased, so please bear with me.
What's up, guys? Currently in Brooklyn, NYC. Brooklyn is like Lekki of Lagos. If I was to move down here, probably Brooklyn would be one of the places I would think of.
So first off, I always had this idea that New York was gonna be clean, but on coming here, I realized that it's not clean. New York is mostly dirty. It's like 50% clean, 50% dirty, especially when you go to like the busy areas.
I've seen rats, I've seen old garbage, I've seen all types of stuff in the subway.
New York is a city that has almost 9 million people living in it, and it's very small. So that's a very high population density. I was just coming from London, and London was way, way, way cleaner. Even like the most busiest parts of London, it's still way cleaner than New York.
One of the things I didn't even realize before I came here was how hot it was. I actually felt like, you know, they always say America, America. You think America is like cold. America is hot though. It's more hotter than Lagos. I think some days ago it was like 38 degrees or something.
I'm somebody who lives in Africa. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. And Lagos is relatively hot most times, but when I came to New York, it was way hotter. Not clean, hot, and it has this very wet smell.
Just quickly came to get some stuff for the house. Do you know that in my apartment, I have to pay for the laundry machine? I have to pay $3 to wash and $3 to dry. Nothing is free in America, nothing.
Not even water.
Not even water.
Secondly, New York is also very noisy. There's a road just behind this camera. There's always somebody playing music. There's always sounds from somewhere. There's sirens or there's cops. It's super, super noisy. People honk their horns. In places like Europe, it's not a place where you kind of like honk your horns. You know, everybody's patient. They take their time. New York is a very fast pace. Everything is fast. The cars are fast. The people are fast. It's like everybody's rushing somewhere. So Lagos is fast, but not as fast as New York. So I kind of like equate Lagos to New York, but New York is like Lagos on steroids. It's like something's chasing people, and what is chasing people is bills.
Everything in this country you have to pay for. You sneeze and you have to pay for that too.
It's like everybody has to be up and doing if you want to meet up all the bills that you have to pay, because New York is probably the most expensive city, if not the most expensive city in the whole of America. Where I'm currently staying now is a 3-bedroom apartment. So guys, this is my room currently in Brooklyn. This bedroom alone costs $1,600 a month. Just one bedroom in a 3-bedroom apartment. Usually one of the best ways to get affordable apartments here is to get a shared apartment. So you don't have to pay for the whole thing on your own. If you were to rent this whole apartment, you'd probably be paying, that's like $1,600 times 3. In a month.
Listen, New York is very expensive. For instance, like a studio apartment rent in Harlem can easily go for $1,900. That's just like a small box. Now, when you get into like 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms, you're looking easily at $3K, $4K. And if you go to Midtown and you go to other places, now you're looking at $4, $5, $6, $7, $8K for like studio 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms. That's just the housing. Then now you have the food, and then you have transportation.
Like for me, for example, I have a car. I choose to have a car because I will pay for convenience. So if you're someone who needs that convenience and you want to travel by car, I mean, you're looking at adding another $1,000 on top of whatever you're paying for rent for transportation a month.
So guys, there's this cool building we just saw now, this one behind us. Want to find out how much it costs. How much is it?
1.3.
1.3 million for 2 beds.
Yeah.
You want to get one?
Yeah, let's get the penthouse, bro.
If I was paying that in Nairobi, like I would be flexing. So really what you're paying for, as she said, is a convenience, because New York never sleeps. You can want food at 3 a.m. and right and behold, somewhere close will have their doors open.
Why is it called Brooklyn's here?
It's a mix between Brooklyn culture and Nigerian culture. We decided to use the bowl as a vessel to present suya, present it as a meal. It's cool, it's delicious, it's fresh, and it works. Sometimes you may not see a line, but our machine is going crazy. So there's a line online, and then you actually see people.
Literally what you're
We
paying
don't sleep,
for, yeah,
basically.
is like
We
the
don't sleep.
24/7 access. You know, like you getting a text at 12 a.m. Yo, pull up to X. Drake is in here. Like, you know, like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
literally,
That's
yeah,
the
like
celebrities.
you're literally
The access.
The
for
access.
sure.
You're definitely paying for the access.
Yeah, as soon as you find out some, like if you're into music, you can definitely hit up a party with the Vito or like just, they always come to New York, so you're right in the thick of
The
it.
center of a lot. You can literally shape your destiny in this city. I know it sounds crazy, but
Everyone is coming here to make their dreams happen, so you're bound to find someone that you can work with. People find their life partners here. Like this is like network central.
Outside, and we headed to B&H because I need a GoPro to make better videos for you guys while I'm in New York.
Another one too that was crazy to me was the subway. The subway was so shocking and interesting because I was just coming from London, like I said earlier, and comparing London subway to New York subway, they are very far. London subway is like everything works. In New York, inside the subway, it's hot, it's smelly. You get to see a lot of homeless people. It's like the person driving it, they just step on the brakes anyhow, so it's like it's like downfall. So then if you don't hold on to something, Otilo.
I think one of the things I love so much from what I've seen so far about the city is like there's so much hustle and bustle. Everybody is in one activity or the other. I love the energy. It reminds me of like when I was in Lagos.
Sony should sponsor you, hey?
Yeah, it's sponsor.
Sony, come to the party.
This is a filmmaker's paradise. Cameras everywhere. So guys, as you can see, these are creator products. Eventually, I want to have my own creator products. It's coming very soon. Will you guys buy when I create whatever I want to create?
Where is it? $47.99. You're saving now $27. So you're paying only $21.
$21, okay.
How many would you like?
No, just one.
One? Okay.
I just spent 661 just to make quality videos for you guys. So you have to subscribe. If you're watching this channel, subscribe. This craft costs a lot of money. Thank you very much. Ooh, okay.
Show us your big smile.
But I'm crying internally because I spent money. Guys, we're currently at Times Square, which is probably the most visited place in the whole of America. We have so many tourists here. It's so busy. And I always wanted to come here, and I'm glad I'm finally here. And I think this is one of the things I love about America. So many people from across the world are here, so you can get to meet anybody from anywhere in the world. It's so cool to finally be in the middle of Times Square. So many people on this side.
So the first time I ever had it, I fell in love with it, like seriously. At first I tried it without spice, and then after that, I just kept coming back. Like you cannot walk past here and not want a bowl. Like you have to walk across the street or something.
Were you born here?
No.
Okay.
From Nigeria, but I came here in 2003. And it's my experience in New York that made me want to do Brooklyn Suya. I just wanted a new story. I wanted a new experience. I wanted to rewrite the experience of Nigerian food. I have a very serious passion for food, and I felt like I wanted to find a vessel to tell the story of Nigerian food.
How long have you been running this business?
We're in our 5th year now. First day here, we did like $20. And
Wow.
so we had to introduce the food to the neighborhood. You know, when we first started, nobody knows about Brooklyn Suya. Now, you're finding that somewhere in the Bronx, in Queens, in Manhattan, if you say Brooklyn Suya, a bunch of people are gonna know, oh, I know Brooklyn Suya. I've been there, you know, and have had like an amazing experience.
How much does the business make now just on a regular, averagely, monthly?
100K a month.
A month? Really?
I know, it's crazy. I don't know how we did.
Guys, I need to come and start selling suya. If I don't come back to Nigeria, I just know I've opened suya spots. Really? Wow.
Yeah, when you
From
come-
selling basically roasted meat.
Listen, and we're really busy here every month, especially
wow.
the summertime. It's crazy.
So that means you will say this is a $1 million business.
I mean, I let other people say that.
As I was here, I just realized this was where the shots from our latest video saw this exact spot right here. You remember? Let's talk a little bit about the tipping culture in America. Every time you buy something in America, people want you to give them some money as a tip. The first day I came here, I went to a restaurant and I bought some food. The guy who was at the store was like, oh, you didn't add a tip. And I'm like, my country where I come from, we only drop tips when we feel like the service has been exceptional. And the guy was very aggressive with it. After spending 2 weeks here, I realized that even some restaurants, they add the tip in it, and the tip can be like $20. So that means if you buy something of $100, minus the tax, minus all the other charges you pay, you still pay 20% of that $100 as a tip. Whether the service was good, whether the service was bad, nobody cares. It was just very weird to me. But I think gradually as I've been here, I've kind of like gotten used to it, but it still doesn't make any sense to me. Why I have to pay tip? What's your dream?
Man, I want to burn capitalism. I want to destroy it.
And replace it with what?
That is my dream.
Here is like more of capitalism and individualism. Everybody is more about themselves, make as much money as possible, which has its good sides and its bad side. I think I stand on both ends. I admire capitalism because it means you can come to New York and make as much money as you want. You can build a business, build it as big as you want it to be. Nobody's gonna stop you as long as you pay your taxes. And that's why some of the biggest businesses, or many of the biggest businesses in the world, like tech companies, were made in America.
I don't know, but I feel like we're smart enough as human beings to figure out a system that can allow us to live a quality of life that doesn't require us to sell our souls to survive or live luxury. Because as we've said, it's either you're working your bone to the ground to be able to afford the luxuries, or you're on the streets being homeless. So what options are we giving people? I don't have it, but I think together we can figure it out. So that's my dream.
One of the things I noticed about New York and how capitalism has really affected the country is there's a lot of homeless people on the streets. There's so much wealth in America and there's so much wealth in New York that you would expect that there shouldn't be homelessness. There's a homelessness, there's also a drug problem here. I've seen at least 20 crackheads since I've been here. You just see people on the street just like zombies. In the subway, I also seen people shooting themselves up with drugs in broad daylight.
In Trinidad and Tobago, if you're hungry and I come next to you, come to me and you say you're hungry, we're neighbors, we feed each other, we treat each other like a family. In America, you go, can you please spare some food? They look at you like you're a piece of shit because you're not working.
Well, we were just talking about, like in Africa, if we had to see someone fall on the floor,
and you help them up. Here they like, or they see somebody walking with a limp. Yesterday I was sitting here and I cried. This lady was walking her dog and she had a limp. About 4, 11, 21-year-old, 21. And they walking across the street doing like this because the woman, yo, I almost run over there and whoop their ass. But you know what? There's something they call Rosie and that's jail, and I ain't going to Rosie. Yo, these people in this country are so inconsiderate. All they think about in this country is money. There is no real love, no real community.
I had to learn the hard way that New York can be a dog eats world. It can be. But on the other side, there is also kindness. There is also like family. You just have to find your tribe. And once I found my tribe, which was other Africans in the diaspora, I kind of felt like, okay, I found my tribe, and the navigation became a little bit easier.
Similar to what she said, once you find your tribe, it works. Immigrants will come here and they are too kind. They learn really fast that New York can be a lonely place if you don't have your tribe.
So now, can we go and check out some of the stuff that you have?
Absolutely, let's go. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Come.
Tell me what I should try out.
You know what? We're gonna do a salmon bowl, and then we'll do a steak and shrimp bowl.
Okay.
So these are our different levels of spice. Because it's a new audience, we have 4 different levels. We have mild, Yaji, Ose, and Lagos spice. 1, 2,
Lagos.
3, 4.
This is the hottest.
Of course. When you chop it, you're transported back to Lagos.
Of the suya I have tried in different places in Brooklyn and
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah.
This is the most consistent. There is a level of freshness and deliciousness that I don't expect.
Okay.
The flavor of that suya pepper really is delicious. And suya is probably the nearest and dearest thing to my heart. So finding something that I can come to when I'm having a bad day like today, this is why I'm here right now.
I was supposed to be a lawyer.
Oh wow.
But I became a hustler.
Oh shit! Lines. Oh yeah, let's try this food out.
Try the salmon.
Try
see how it
salmon.
is.
So how do you eat it? Just
Just go for it, man. Every bite is gonna
there's
be
many things here.
is a unique bite.
It's like ice cream, make it melt in your mouth. And you can see this is a lot of food. A lot of people say they eat to the point where they will be full and they still go in. Like they can't stop. So this is your first time trying out the suya?
Yeah. Not me. I've had it like a while ago.
So your first time, what are your thoughts on it?
It's delicious. It's just really good.
So would you come back? You think
Oh, hell yeah.
come back?
Yeah.
I'm currently at Hudson Yard. Just on the other side there is New Jersey or Jersey City. That's where most people like living because it's kind of like cheaper to live than New York. How's it going, brother?
Good. Just struggling with the midday light. It's super harsh. So we're gonna try shooting in the shade.
I love the fact that you can just wake up every morning and just step outside and make stuff. The whole environment of New York, it promotes creativity. So interesting how you can just stop and shoot anywhere on the roads.
The beautiful part about America and about New York is nobody cares, which is good and it's bad. Nobody cares. So you can see like some homeless guy on the street who is begging for money and is just basically in pain or hungry, and people might just walk past. It's the same thing too in Lagos too. People don't really care as much. People just keep moving on. Then there's the good part about nobody cares. Nobody cares in terms of like the first day I came, I was still hiding my camera. I'm like trying to shoot small one. I saw 5 little big cameras on the street. I'm like, oh wow. And people were just kind of like expressing their creativity, creating content. And I think that's one of the best things about America. It's like you're allowed to express yourself. Nobody's gonna disturb you. That's why they call it also the land of the free.
So do you believe that people actually do make their dreams in New York because everybody comes to New York?
I think you can make it here if you can survive.
Yeah. Because
it's not for everyone. You can make it here because you're forced to know yourself. You're forced to make it alone for some time.
Yeah.
You're forced to figure out rent, figure out what you want to do, figure out how to be happy alone.
Whatever you want to do it so you don't have regrets. But I will say there's a caveat. It's not an overnight. It took us 5 years. Some people it takes longer. Some people it takes 10 years. We're kind of lucky that we hit. So just have the understanding you could be in it for the long haul. If you're not ready to stomach 10 years of suffering, 5 years of suffering, that means you might not be cut out for it.
It's easy for this city to swallow you up. It can drain you, it can exhaust you, and it can deplete you. So how do you find balance? How do you find that like grounding, that connection to self? Because you have to know who you are if you're going to be able to survive or like navigate New York City, because there's everything in every sort of way. Literally, you can find anything that you desire or want or think about in New York. And if you're not clear on who you are or what you want, you can easily get lost in the sauce.
Every country has their own bad sides and their own good sides. And don't get me wrong, I know it might seem like I'm shitting on America and New York in this video, but I love this country. There's so many things that are beautiful about this country. Like, there are so many things that work. I think these are just some of the things that were very shocking to me. It's so easy to build something here. It's like there's no ceiling to how high you can rise. If you create something that solves a problem for a lot of people, you can become a billionaire. That's the American dream. It's not easy, but it's possible. And it's not like you can create something in Africa too, but it's just that in Africa, it's much harder.
What do you want people in Africa to know about America?
Okay, when you come to America and if you come with your family, when you lose your job and if you do, you don't have no more family. They leave you the alone because they get Americanized. They forgot that we were bringing water and food on our head to survive. When they come here, they get a job and they get better and they say, you. Because that's what mines tell me. Me. That's why I end up on this corner. So please don't lose your soul and your heart if you come to America. God bless.
Thank you. Perfect. Would you leave New York for any reason and live somewhere else?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I'm a child of this world. I want to be able to access and live as many places as I possibly can. But New York is definitely a home for me. Like, there's no doubt about that.
I absolutely would live outside of New York, but I don't think I could do it for too long. I think New York is the type of place where you need a break sometimes because of the hustle and the bustle. You know, sometimes you need a break. It's not everyday work, right? So I can move away for a while, but I would always come back home.
May God bless America.
The reason I wanted to do this video was to just kind of like give you guys my first view, my first experience as an African, as a Nigerian in America for the first time. What I plan to do over the next couple of weeks while I'm here is to share my views, share my journey, just share my experience with you guys so that you guys can also learn and also see my perspective as an African. Drop your comments in the comment section below if you have your own personal views about America. What was it like when you came here for the first time? Or if you live here, what's it like for you? I'm super excited to be here. I'm going to LA next week. We'll see where that takes us. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.